give some money back, but more than anything, hopefully raise some awareness that we want to do everything we can. That I guess that's bigger than us. I mean, there's things that are bigger than the wrestling program, and anyway, we can get back to and give our guys a little perspective too. So I think that's why we do it, and we'll continue to do it as long as I'm the coach here. So.
And how did you feel the turnout was for the camp?
It was good. I think about 90 kids, so you get 90 kids to an event like that and being able to give the proceeds back to him. But I think getting to see him, he came up and talked a little bit to the group. Just that I told those kids, you take for granted being able to just walk out there and wrestle and be healthy. And this guy's got a bigger fight in mind, and just to really enjoy the opportunities that they have, because there's a lot of guys that wish they had that. He wish he was being able to do that right now. So just being able to remember that and keep that perspective.
Doug, you might have answered this on what overall impressions of today.
I gave up way too many points. I mean, that place got real quiet. I don't know if I've heard the West Gym that quiet. I mean, I'm being serious. So good job on their part those last two matches. I don't know if I've heard the West Gym be that quiet for a finish. They got really quiet, and they did a good job of slamming the door.
Why do you think that was?
I think they kept attacking. They kept scoring points, and we're gonna frickin' put an exclamation point on this thing. We're not gonna give these guys a chance, and that's what they did. At 33 is just I'm bigger and stronger than you, and I'm gonna show you that I'm bigger and stronger than you. 25 is I'm gonna continue to attack, and I don't care what position I'm in, I'm gonna continue to wrestle from there. And this is one thing that we have to learn to be a great team and great competitors. Is when someone raises their level, you have to be able to raise yours. It can't be all of a sudden he raises his level, and it's like we kind of cower down. You have that happen, it's gonna be long and hard, because there's guys that are maybe better than you, so that means you have to fight a little bit more. That means you're gonna have to stay where you got to wrestle through a position more than that guy. You can't just be like, well, I'm just gonna be able to just stand out there and be able to wrestle and beat this guy, because sometimes guys are better than you, and you have to find a way. You have to find a way to be able to overcome that. And we haven't done that. We haven't done that as a team. We didn't do that in any situation, I don't think, in this duel. They're favoring some matches, and they won those matches, and they end up getting bonus points in a lot of them. And then there's a few matches where I think we're favored that we got to be able to put an exclamation point on the finish.
What do you think happened at 84? He came out too quick takedowns.
I think Dean's good at staying where he's good. He started getting on a collar tie, and we hung out a little bit. Hit a couple incredible attacks, but there's something where you got to hit another one. Then you got to hit another one. Then he rode, and there's a little bit of history there. They've wrestled quite a few times, and when we talk about leaving a mark on a guy, when you leave a mark on a guy, they remember every time you wrestle you. So when you wrestle a guy really hard and you make it really hard on him, as much as you don't want to have it in the back of your head, it's in the back of your head a little bit. And so he's got to be able to get over that. So that guy, he made a good adjustment, and he stopped giving us space, and then he rode the heck out of us. You can't, if you get ridden out of third period, it's going to be really hard to win. I mean, all he's got to do is get away, and it's a tie match. So we have to be able to get away other than 10 seconds left. And I really believe that he would suck up and be able to go get another score, but you have to clear out a position that you're not good right now. And when a guy raises his level, you have to raise yours. If you think all of a sudden the guy's just going to fall over because you get a couple scores, great competitors don't do that. And we have to become, greater competitors, if you want, if that's a word. But we have to raise our level, and we're not doing it. I mean, you watched it. You guys watched it firsthand out in front of the guys. When they raise their level, we have to be able to raise ours, and that's the only way that we're going to be a great team. It can't be I raise mine. If I'm better than the guy, then I whoop his ass, and then if not, then we'll see what happens. Hopefully it happens. It can't be like that, and so it's got to happen in the practice room too. So I mean, it's not like things that we don't see. We see them in the practice room too. So they got to be addressed now. But I think good energy, good atmosphere. It's hot in here, but it's hot for them too. I mean, this should be something. To me, it's a huge advantage for us. I mean, it should be a huge advantage that we're in our home gym, not the other way. It should be freaking where these guys are melting because of the type of energy and hustle and fight. Even Lujan's a good example. They got into a great scramble. If he would have backed off that guy right there, and all of a sudden he kind of come out and he stands in front of the dude, he freaking boom, he slammed him right in the mouth, and then that guy laid on the edge for 35 seconds because he's like, I don't know how the hell I'm going to beat this guy. I don't know how I'm going to do it. Instead of, man, you back off and you kind of play a little tickle fight with him, and you tickle fight with a guy, you're not going to win. You can't do that. And we gotta raise our level up and down the lineup. I don't know what else to tell you other than that. If we don't, then there's going to be more results like this.
What do you think of Tyrell Gordon? He said he shook out some nerves and found a way to win it.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see out of a guy. You want to see a guy that's able to still find a way, even if you're not at your best. To me, that's what great competitors do. They're not at their best. Maybe they got some nerves. They're still able to overcome them. He's only going to get better every single time out. And it's something where we've had a process of talking, and it's the best thing for the team. It's the best thing for him, and he's the type of guy when he gets out in that atmosphere, and he gets where you can feel the level of the guy. His level's only going to raise. Unfortunately, we have a 97-pounder that's not going to be back, so we need a 97-pounder that's going to be able to step up and be the guy. And he's the guy right now. I thought Sheehan wrestled his tail off. I thought he competed really hard. He hustled through every position, even though he lost the match. And even if you get beat, I mean, people will appreciate that. And just being able to, you forget him to be able to wrestle heavyweights. But I don't know, we want to see what that guy had. We've seen what we saw what we need to see in the room. We felt what we need to see, and now he's just going to continue improving it better. But we got to have more cylinders clicking, man. If you only have half your team really clicking, it's hard to win duels.
What happened to Hosog?
Hurt his knee. So sometimes injuries happen, and the good thing is they've made some adjustments to some of these rules. I mean, I can't say, hey, I know he's going to get. I mean, but there's some new rules now where guys are going to get their year back. They made a change in the last year in how they count getting your getting a year back, and you can force a guy to try to come back, but when you have a significant injury, you're not going to force a guy to come back. If this was 3 years ago, you would probably wait, and you'd wait till the second half of the season, and you would see what you could do, see what he was capable of. But we can get him healthy, we can get him back we can have those. I mean, I don't know if I should say you're going to get 3 years, but it's black and white in how they set up and how they made the change with the rules. So you miss one opportunity, redshirt your first year, and you miss another opportunity because he's going to be injured. And that's why guys are getting their year back. I think you guys have seen it now where guys are knowing they're getting their year back way before. I mean, they don't got to wait till they get to their 5th year or 6th year and then see if they're getting it back. It's cut and dry now, and we know that, and that's why we'll use it. It's best for him to get healthy, and it's best to put Tyrell Gordon out there. And I love what that kid brings. Just the ability. You saw a few positions where he's just able to wrestle out of. I mean, the guy had his dang leg up for 45 seconds, and he's just relaxed, and he can wrestle through things, just being able to get to his offense. I mean, once he's able to really feel where he can get to some offense, I don't know how much you can put into one match because it's his first match too. But as far as what we know, what he's capable of, and how he's going to build, and how excited he is to grow through this process, and we're excited to have him in there too.
There aren't probably a ton of rules out there that are unanimously popular.
Yeah,
that seems like one that everybody can get behind, right?
Why not? Why should guys lose opportunities? They only get 4 of them anyway. And I always thought it was silly that a guy had to lose 2 years. I mean, I'm losing 2 years, so you're having 2 significant injuries to get a year back. I think it's a really, really, really good change. When these guys, and there's no big pot of gold. I mean, to be able to be a national champion, All-American, those are things that they work for their whole life. So if you have an injury and you get that taken away, and then all of a sudden something else happens, and then you get one opportunity. Heck, I'm really happy with the change. I don't know who thought about doing it, but they hit it on the mark, getting guys, and everything's kind of gearing towards the athletes and giving them more opportunities and giving them more resources and things that we can give them. There's nothing like giving a guy an opportunity to go be a national champion, and so I'm all for that. I'm glad they changed that rule. So it's been a good change. And I don't think there's a coach that'd be like, I don't know about that. I don't think that was a very good idea. I think everybody knows how hard these guys work and what they put in, and when an injury happens and that opportunity gets taken away from them, you want to do anything that you can to be able to get them back, and so it's been a good rule change.
How does Albert bounce back? How do you bring him back from a loss like this at home?
Go back to work. I mean, you got to improve and get better. I mean, that's the mark right there, right? I mean, as far as 41 in the country, that guy's the mark. So the thing I know about Albert is he doesn't tuck his tail. He's not going to tuck his tail and be like, well, what am I going to do now? I mean, every match, every situation, every opportunity is different. Every time you wrestle a guy, it's not the same match. So, yeah, I mean, you got to figure out how to score on that guy. Yeah, you know, he's not easy to score. I don't think he gives up a whole lot. But also, I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to, I can't beat that guy. Maybe somebody else beats him, but he can beat him. He's got to believe that he can. I mean, Yanni's a great competitor. I'll give that guy credit, man. I'm impressed with how he competes and the composure that he has, but I also know the type of grit and I guess staying power that Albert has. And you can be shook by this, or you know what, you can, hey man, I have to learn to get better, and he's been wrestling well. So that you don't forget that he wrestled really well at the UNI Open. I thought he looked great. I mean, sometimes some matches aren't your day either, and you got to be able to move on and move forward and get ready for Midlands now, because he's going to have a whole bunch of opportunities against really good guys, and I know he'll be ready for that.
What's the word on Isaac?
He'll be out for a while. I mean, it's not a season thing, but he's going to be out for a chunk of time. So we had been looking at doing that at 97, and you know, now we need someone to step up at heavyweight. And Isaac, I thought Isaac competed well. I think that guy's been in the rankings around 10, 12. And maybe he had a couple opportunities where he had a little bit of an angle on a guy. Just I think being able to feel heavyweights when you're not used to wrestling those guys, they fall a little bit different. He can use his speed a little bit more angle. But I like how he competed, even though he lost. I think anybody that watched could get behind. I think that's why everyone was up on their feet cheering, because they're like, man, you understand that guy's 207 pounds and that guy's probably 247 pounds, and you're giving up that, but you're still going out and competing really hard and for the whole match.
Doug, almost 20 years ago, you're side by side with TJ Williams in the Iowa lineup.
Yeah.
Both won the national titles. He's at your side today, different circumstances. You guys did something to raise some money for his family, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've done this. It's our 4th year. Bill Bales, you know, rest his soul. He talked to me and was like, hey, I'm doing this thing at Cornell, a cancer clinic. You know, would you be open to doing something? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And he got on board with it, and we found someone that we know or that's around the area. Because unfortunately, everyone gets affected by cancer. I mean, everybody. There's not a family that doesn't get touched by it or get, I guess, crushed by it. So anything that we can do to kind of use our platform as a program, and for our guys too, they're all helping the clinic. They get a little perspective, you know. I mean, that match hurts and it sucks that they lost, and they might feel down about it. But man, in the grand scheme of the whole picture of everything, man, my boys are healthy right now. My girls are healthy right now. Like, so do I really have a whole lot? I mean, am I upset that we didn't win and maybe compete better? Yeah, but in the big picture, the grand scheme, and that's what I'm trying to give these guys, is a lot of perspective. So we do it, one, because we want to give back, and it's important for our guys, but also, man, if we're not doing more with what we have, with the people, audience that we get to reach, then I don't think we're doing our job very well. The wrestling community is an incredible community too. I mean, I think everyone sees how they reach out. I mean, Rich Perry's example, how many people got behind that. The wrestling community is absolutely awesome. We had 90 kids come out. We had a bunch of people that are giving money, and hopefully, you know what, if they need some help, maybe got in contact with someone else that's able to do that in the future. And I contacted him. I'm like, hey man, we'd love to have you, because I know that guy. Like I said, we were side to side. We went to battle together, and I got some boys that are right around his age. So anything that we can do to help, and it was pretty cool to have him here, have his family here, have his boy go out and wave with the crowd. You know, that's a pretty cool thing. So, you know, the grand scheme of life and big perspective, I think that's really important that we continue to give that for our guys.